Hey, what were you guys doing? Because I totally do not remember.
Well, we were going through a cave tunnel
Oh my
system.
god, they can hear me.
Yep.
You want the speaker on?
How was I supposed to know what was that button was for?
Uh, this is speaker.
Okay, in my defense, I can't read whatever that chicken scratch is that you just wrote.
You know the speaker is still on, right? They can hear this happening right now.
Well, I did ask them a question.
Do I look like I care? Turn the speaker off. We will talk about this in private.
Who do you think you actually are? My mom? Or my wife?
You did not just say that.
Well, technically, I didn't say anything. Woman, I'm gonna die now, aren't I?
Mm-hmm. Just maybe.
What were you guys up to? Do you remember what you were doing last in the bubble of Belfora?
Yes, I remember.
Cool. Run me through it.
Okay. So, last time we met up with the Spriggan again, and the Spriggan's like, nah, I'm gonna move because y'all are making a ruckus in here. But there's a tunnel down below. You can guys can go venture in there. There's some stuff in there you might be interested in. And then we went through the tunnel, fought a couple spiders. I ate said spiders. I got some little powers and stuff, so I can climb walls. I can see like a spooter. And then as we traversed through the cave and everything, came up on a bigger portion of the cave where we found some random stuff. Acorn found a bow and a quiver, an empty quiver. I found a couple different things. I found a skull with some yellow jewels in the eyeballs, and we also found a mimic, which we proceeded to feed meat. And he was spinning in, now happy and stuff, and now he's following us.
Yeah, he's real happy about it.
And we made our way out of the actual tunnel system cave type dealy bob. And when we got out, we saw some zombies in front of us, and little did we know that they were actually following closely from behind as well.
So I'm back to playing the blacksmith game again because it just came out on its full release date like 2 days ago on the 14th. So I'm doing that, and I started all over, and I probably won't be playing too much of it. I'll probably more so be focusing on, obviously, our game. This is mostly just for things in the background. So, as you recall all of that stuff, give yourself a nice little inspiration die for that one. You don't get an inspiration die. You want to be inspired? Uh, Great. You're inspired. Ha!
Ah, the inspiration. I can feel it now.
Yeah, I know. But what I will do in lieu of your inspiration die, you look down and you instantly found yourself 25 gold.
Heck
That's your
yeah.
inspiration.
25 gold.
So where we left off, you were last running back to the city, trying to get back there before daybreak comes, before you have to be paying a additional $250 to the loan shark, that is the jester. And you are noticing with your spider vision, which just more or less kind of highlights things that have heat signatures to a small degree, because you're only a level 2 out of 3 with your par shifter abilities of ingesting the essence of whatever creature you eat. and you have zombies coming from multiple sides. You have more or less a decent amount of time before daybreak still is to arrive. So let's just jump right into it. What are you guys going to do? Also, you have a flute and dragon book, and dragon flute, dragon book that you also got from there early on.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, I mean, now is a good time as ever to actually try out that flute with someone who has lungs and lips.
Yeah.
do you have the flute, or I thought Acorn still had the flute?
She
on
I
does.
her?
still have it.
She
Do you
does.
want to try it?
I was gonna ask for it back.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Okay. So
Yeah.
before you do that, again, because everything's kind of an experiment, and I am new to the whole DM stuff, strictly. And we only have a two-person party because that's kind of how this is set up for right now. As you go into combat, I have simplified it for you guys and everything. It redefined it rather, so it's a little easier to actually go through combat. And if you've ever played the game Super Hot, which you both have, and that's more of a statement for everyone, including anyone who watches, all 9 of them. As you actually are attacking, they're going to move along with you. So if they're attacking first, you'll kind of be the enemy side of things. So you'll move, they'll move, and as you're actually coming down, I'm going to try it out. It was a suggestion that I had made to a veteran D&D player who plays a lot of homebrew stuff and classic D&D, which I love, but I also think is boring and kind of mundane. But I don't care. I still actually go play D&D. I digress. So, do you understand? Like, as you're coming in, you're like trying to shoot or like shoot your bow. Sounds weird, especially because I use Super Hot and my brain's like pulling up the guns from Super Hot.
Yeah.
Anyways, as you move, it's kind of like they're moving with your movement set. So if they're slashing down, it kind of allows you to coordinate. I want to try it out for a second, and just because I feel like it's going to be fumbly and I'm not going to really like it, especially being kind of green behind the ears with DMing. But the other thing that I want to try with any kind of combat here in this session as well is what I more effectively just calling a dice off, and it will be like who's actually instigating an attack.
Mm.
And every round, so it will still be the 2 frame. You two will act as one and go at the same time frame. Like Rabbit, you'll say, "Oh, I'm going to try an upward slash," and then after that, immediately is Acorn's going to say, "Well, I'm going to capture him with my vines, trapping little ability," and then I'll go through the enemies, and so on and so forth. So, but I'm going to do a dice off to who more or less has an advantage, as if like they were kind of faster in that attack time frame. So we'll roll off, but just a 20 die, a d20. I don't know why I said a 20 die, a d20, and whoever has the higher number is the one who's coming down with an attack at that point, or a movement, or whatever it might be. I kind of want to try both just to kind of see how both feel, since they're kind of off my brain set of trying different and like not really redefining D&D, but trying to something adjacent that the dumbest of dumb could actually play. So, i.e., me. That isn't actually taking for the core principle of what D&D is supposed to be. that make sense? That cool.
Yeah.
So you have what you can perceive currently with your ability. Acorn's not really seeing anything, but considering she's a Spriggan, she kind of gets the feeling. She could feel the vibrations that kind of change in a bit of like melancholic and almost sad footsteps coming from these guys. But you can see that there's this low heat, not quite to the point where they would get like hypothermia, but their temperature is definitely lower, somewhere in the ballpark of like 96 compared to the usual 98 where most humans would sit. Some of them are even lower than that. Could be a reason behind that you don't quite know, because you, even though you can see their heat signatures in a way because of your spiderish eyes, you can't quite tell why some of them look a bit colder than the other ones are. But they're not fully actively aggressive like in their movements as they're coming around you. They're more kind of like allured, attracted by the sound of your guys' movement coming through. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so they're not like outwardly like trying to attack or anything.
Yeah,
They're
you
just like
can hear
curious.
the cacophony of like moans and kind of groans and stuff like that. You hear them not really minding any kind of brush or anything, so they're definitely being quite obvious and noisy. Like they're not really making any kind of sound, but you find it a little strange that moments ago, prior up until the point that you got here, like you didn't hear nothing. Yes, you're running through forested land, and so there's a lot of absorbing sounds, but you find it kind of odd that up until basically this point where you got into the thick of it, you didn't have a clue they existed. Like there was no knowledge to your spiderish eyes that there was anyone even around you up until you made it within this like 10 feet span of time between when we last left off up into this second. Are you guys still moving, or are you actually like standing still, kind of get a grasp of your situation at present?
Still standing still.
Yeah.
Okay. Rabbit, tell me what you're up to, and then after she's done, obviously Acorn.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and get the flute from Acorn, and I'm going to try to play it.
Okay, there you go. There's flute.
Thanks.
Okay. Go ahead and I want you to roll me like a d20 for that performance check. Uh, does your character actually have any mundane world from where you came from before you got kind of abducted to this world? Do you actually have any previous experience with reed instruments?
That flute's not a reed instrument.
Is it? No, yeah, that's right. It's not.
Uh-uh.
It's just a breath instrument. It doesn't
Uh,
require reed.
Weird.
Yeah.
yeah, I played the, well, not the flute, but I played the French horn. Some sort of musical instrument experience.
Okay. Give me that roll for performance.
11.
What did you put? Oh, you put that in general. Yeah. So you start trying to play basically a parody of Mary had a goat, a baby goat. And what ends up happening is like almost kind of as if just time ceased. And before you is a dark blotch. And this dark blotch forms very quickly and dissipates. And it's a man. dark black draping hair over a very pale, shining in the moonlight skin, and his left eye burns a brilliant green flame, while his left eye is a pitch black, but somehow it kind of feels like it's glowing. His lips are very blue and darkened, kind of like he's very cold. He has a black pea coat on with a dress shirt that you can't fully discern with the lighting that's going on around you. Black kind of gloves, maybe, or some kind of armor is sitting over his hands. A dark colored pants that seem to have like almost chain hooked tassel kind of arrangement coming off of where his belt line is, going down to his feet, that he's clearly wearing like dress suits. Like he's very weird, but almost demonic in nature.
Okay.
And he looks at you, and he looks at Acorn, and he simply says, "So you guys finally figured out how to actually use the flute?
Yeah.
You just play a simple breath, and I would have appeared.
It helps if you have lips.
What are your names?
My name is Rabbit.
That's a
Acorn.
dumb name. That is a dumb, just as dumb name. That I am V. You can just simply call me V.
Okay.
And if you might have not have guessed, I am a demon, a
Do
devil
you have
of many capabilities. And that flute belongs to some very, very dear friends of mine.
Evie? Do you happen to have a vendetta? Perchance?
He snaps his fingers on both hands, and he causes you to go through flickers. Like, just every single second, you're going through flickers of you dying in every conceivable possible way continuously. And he tells you, I will stop this if you do not make another dad joke, so long as you're in my presence. You
I
are
guess.
literally being reconstituted and murdered all in the same time span, again and again. But not only you both are. Every conceivable way you could die, you are being groundhog dayed every single second.
Okay, Jesus, will you just agree to the terms, Acorn? I'm
guess.
dying
but
over and over again.
Everybody loves a good dad joke.
Evidently, he does not.
He snaps his fingers once more, and you're standing still, and he's like, don't worry. Like, your existential crisis of your mind reconstituting itself again and again will cease in just a bit. And if you're curious, you have died now over 800,000 times. The smaller numbers are unimportant. Now, what can I do for you?
I honestly just wanted to see if this would work. Well, obviously, I don't know if I'm pretty sure you can sense them, but we're surrounded by zombies.
Yeah. What do I care? They're just lesser dead.
Yeah, I didn't know if you'd be able to maybe read their whatever they have left in their minds to see if what they want.
You are all mortals as foolish as you.
I mean, some. I don't know. There's a lot of people in this world, so it's debatable.
In this world? No. There is only about 800,000
There's still
in
a
this
lot.
little bubble dimension.
Still a lot.
Out of all of the worlds that I've ever been conceived in. This is on the smaller, tiny, minuscule scale. Much
That-
like your brain
That's
capacity.
talking about your scale, but if coming from myself, it's still a lot. Compared to us two and you, that's still a lot more people than just us three standing here right now.
You summon a demon to read the minds of the dead.
Possibly. If we could just kind of mosey on towards
Possibly.
the village.
Do you always do things inconsistently? Do you not have a desire to be rid of these fools?
If
I can easily make it so. This is barely any kind of work. Just a snap of the finger and they all go away. But I only under one caveat.
what's
I
that?
get all of their souls.
All of their souls? They still have souls even though they're zombies?
Yes. They are undead, but they are entrapped in their own bodies, forced to live existence in the way that they are. I don't care to tell you the means. It's not my problem. It's a mortal issue.
And what would you do with these souls?
Do I really have to answer that question? I'm a devil. To what I do with souls is none of your concern.
It's just a curiosity. That's all. You don't have to answer. But it's just a curiosity.
Grand. Now answer thy question.
Yes, get rid of them. You can have their souls.
And he snaps his fingers. Done. And all of the bodies fall on the ground, and all you hear is thuds. There. Work complete. Can I go now?
You are dismissed.
Somehow that brings a bit of stomach bile up, hearing that from you. Oh, if you're curious, I now acquired 1,200 innocent souls thanks to you. Good doing business. I didn't know I would be summoned by mass murderers, but, you know, at least it's something amusing for the next 5 seconds. And he turns into vapor and disappears.
Okay, well that was fun, I guess. So the flute summons a demon.
Which could actually be quite helpful because he can help us out in many different ways. Well, if he feels like it, he seems pretty
Meh.
snarly.
Yeah.
You could always try to summon him back.
Could, yes.
Do you want to summon him back?
Mm.
I mean, I'm sure he'll just love that idea.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's your flute, so you can play it whenever. And you might as well find out about the flute, right? Just a friendly suggestion. I know that's kind of meta-ing, but I don't really care at the present. We just started. We're not even in our rhythm yet. Let's go.
Okay. Maybe in a little bit, but for now, let's just continue towards the village.
Okay. You continue to walk the same direction you're going then, is what I'm understanding?
Yeah.
Cool. As you continue to walk, you begin to notice that it's getting more and more foggy, and you can see faint glimmers of light kind of going around in and out of sight. And as you proceed, you start seeing more consistent flickers of flame until the fog eventually passes and you can see yourself in a very, very run down village of sorts. From what you can see, it is drenched on all sides on the outskirts in a dense, thick fog, and it reeks of death inside. While you were walking through the fog, that scent wasn't there. It was only the second you broke through that foggish barrier and you smell what's you can only compare to a ruptured septic tank from your world.
That smells rancid. Whatever that is. Oh, God. Okay, so rundown village. We see any humans or otherwise around?
You see absolutely no one besides shambling dead. There are corpses that you can see walking past flame and kerosene light that seem kind of just like they're acting as if they're going about what you would imagine a normal town would deal with. Just basic foot traffic, but they're doing it very poorly, mind you. Like they are walking into chairs that are around and falling over, but they're not really caring that they just tripped over that random bench. They're not caring if when they're walking into poles and just kind of walking continuously into them like some kind of Bethesda nav mesh. They just continue to go on until they go around the pole finally, after they've shambled themselves past it. Some are walking into rotted doors and falling through obvious holes that were probably formed from other zombies walking into the same door. It's a very silly place that you're in right now.
Okay. They're just a bunch of clumsy zombies just kind of shambling around, not really doing anything.
Yeah.
Try to live their happy little zombie life.
You can kind of gather that the scent has to be from their decayed bodies.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see any kind of evidence to the contrary that the scent might be coming from anywhere else. It could. It just doesn't appear that way right now with your initial contact.
Okay. Well, is it still pretty dark outside? Still have plenty of time before daylight?
Oh yeah, it's only been 15 minutes. Like from start of where you just were. I would say you have about 3 hours ish before dawn break.
Okay. How far are we away from the actual village with the walls and everything?
You don't know.
Well, I could look at my map.
Or you didn't say that though, so I can't just tell you.
Well, I know I didn't say that though, but like I could look at my map and kind of check.
Absolutely. Did you going to unfurl your map then?
Yes.
You got to tell
I'm
me
going
this stuff.
I'm going to
this is your
unfurl
story.
my map.
For love of God, this is your story. I'm just the rails and the.
I thought it was obvious that I'm
giver
going to
of-
unfurl my map. I didn't think I had to say
That's
it.
not how this works, though. You have to give me your details. Otherwise, if I get to make the stuff up, I'm going to make you suffer the consequence.
Open my map.
Good. So you open up your map and you start tracing using the ledger on the side, and you can tell that you're about 20 or so miles away according to your map, you're about 20 miles away from the village. You instantly look at them and be like, that just can't be correct. That doesn't make any sense. This place is not, it can't possibly be that huge. But like the scaling feels off.
Okay, well, from what I could see, how can I how do I put this? How big is this rundown village from what I can see?
From your current point of view, you're more or less on the outskirts of the village, and from where you're standing would probably be what you could compare to a market area. There, to the nearest buildings, there's about 30-40 feet in between you and the nearest building that's straight ahead. As of to like your right and your left, you see stalls lining scattered throughout the area. A lot of them are completely dilapidated and collapsing. There's a few that are still standing, but like the fabric is clear as day, has been torn, and it definitely evident that something has gone on. Maybe it's just time passing, but you kind of get a weird itch that this kind of place doesn't make any sense. But behind all of this market area, you can see about 6 or so buildings scattered down lanes. One, in fact, actually looks as if it still has regular light, like someone's or living there, maybe. It's about a two-story. About a two-story. I say that because, like, you know how old-timey, wimey houses have like a loft, like an attic area that you could actually technically call a room when it's
Yeah, so
under
it's still
the
kind
roof.
of like a story.
Yeah, so that's why I say kind of like 2 stories. It's not quite that. I don't know if it has a technical name because I'm not a frickin' architect. I could look it up. Or the editor can find out if there's something and throw it on the screen. But you see about 6 buildings with different roads going throughout, but you can't really see too much past where you're at. Like I said, the fog's more or less lifted where you're at.
Okay.
That doesn't mean diddly squat elsewise. Nothing I can say anyways.
Okay, well, since it seems like we're pretty far away from the actual village itself, we should probably still just keep moving. Unless you want to look around or something, Acorn.
Well, if we're gonna, well, we can keep on moving, but we're gonna have to be really careful, just to be on the safe side about those. And then heading towards the village. Move so quietly.
That it wasn't anything. I just my brain went to feed me Seymour.
Yeah.
Because like the demon ate a bunch of these guys just a moment ago. 1,200 in fact.
There is that many around us at that time. That's insane. Okay, well then I guess we will carefully walk the same
Can
direction.
you describe to me in just kind of base detail what you mean by carefully?
Just keeping our wits about us and just paying attention, just keeping our head on a swivel, watching the movements of the zombies as we pass by them.
Okay. Are you going to continue in that forward direction that you have been taking to continue forth? Or are you like going back out into the fog to kind of circumvent this village? What are you up to in that?
Well, Acorn, do you think we should actually go back out and go around this? Because we can obviously see the fog and everything. So if we go around, like, make a wide berth and go around it.
It might be safer, and like what happened, like the field and stuff. It could be something lurking inside there that we don't know and can't see.
Yeah. Okay. I guess you're just gonna go back out through the fog and make a berth of the place.
All right.
We're gonna have a fog baby.
I need you both to roll me a d20 for perception.
Okay. I got a 3.
I'm still waiting on Acorn, just so everyone's aware of what the silence is.
Yeah. How do you do the roll again? I did roll and then I put D20, but
It's slash roll d20.
yeah, that's what I did, but it's not actually letting me go and
Did you
do
put
it.
a
Slash
space?
roll. Yeah.
You want to just do it for her so we can
Well, no, I
proceed?
need to figure it out because we're gonna have to do the whole campaign, so we just edit this out after.
Are you in general right now?
Yeah, I'm in general. I got slash roll and then I put D space D20.
Yeah, that's all it is.
And then but when I try to send it, it puts a space and puts rolls.
Well,
Yeah.
that's because you're using your phone.
Yeah, it's slash
It's not
roll.
because I'm
Right.
using a phone.
It just
No,
hit,
no,
just hit
it's
enter.
auto-correcting her.
Okay, it's okay. Is it showing up slash roll space rolls colon d20
No. It's just colon.
and then type in d20?
It didn't do that last time though, because I did it on my phone and it was just D20, so that's why it's throwing me off.
It did do it last time.
For me, it didn't. I'm not on mine.
Digress. Acorn, you continue to prance throughout the fog, but you feel a bit solo all of a sudden. But now you're out of the fog and it's back to weird woods and just starry skies above you. You feel like you're missing someone who was just standing next to you. Rabbit, you find yourself back in the village. And not only are you in the village, you're not where you were before. You're no longer in the market district. You are now standing right before the village town sign that says Undertown. And it's partly hanging down like it's, been very dilapidated. Like it's been hanging for so long, the wood has just rotted and the nails have fallen and been torn out with the weight of the sign hanging on it. And before you stands a zombie who's very much clearly in old, like, guard garb, but more militia. So it's clearly a villager who's taking up post as a guard. He's got a metal bucket head helmet. Good thing head. He's got a very rusted metal bucket for a helmet on his head that clearly it's not an actual helmet. It's just a metal bucket that he carved slits for his face to show partly out. It's kind of like he made a a baklava, but
From
out
a
of a
metal
bucket.
bucket.
Yeah.
That's just kind of inventive.
My mind canon
I'm
is
gonna
just
give him
kind of
kudos.
silly, and I can't help but laugh at it.
It's like the bucket heads in a SpongeBob movie, except they have slits in the
Yeah.
eyeballs.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, you can definitely equate it about the same. His outfit is very worn down and definitely tattered. You can see parts of his bone actually piercing through the tears in his garb. He's holding a rotted, snapped spear. Like I say rotted, and it's snapped. And the tip of the spear is very much just dug into the ground next to this man. Possibly man. But he's just standing guard, and he just doesn't seem to really kind of make any note of you. You see about 3 houses lined up. Each of these houses have a bit of light shining within them. They're very faint, but you can still see that there's like non-broken glass and a bit of something inside. You can't quite make out if is it chairs, like is it furniture or what is it. But on the outside, through the glow of the light, you can see that there's actual farm animals in smallish pens near these houses, and they're very much all very healthy pigs and chickens that are just in these pens. Like they are clearly healthy. None of them look emaciated.
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 Emaciated. They all look very, very well kept and taken care of. And you see a wagon, a covered wagon. And this covered wagon has a horse. And this horse is not a physical horse. It is the spirit of a horse. It's a ghost horse. A horse ghost. Horse ghost! And the carriage has lamps that have not been turned out, but they are very dim, very low light. Like they're just kind of creating a glow against the wood of the carriage. Outside of that, there is no real indicators what is going on with that whole situation quite yet, obviously.
Mm.
Like you don't know why there would be something like that. It's just kind of odd. It doesn't make much sense as to what the scene that you're actually seeing, considering there was actual zombies wandering around. Why is there healthy animals or anything like that? I don't know. Why don't you ask? Maybe that zombie who's wearing a bucket on his head. That was a joke. It was just being meta.
Well, I mean, I was gonna try to talk to the guy anyway. Otherwise, I don't know where Acorn went. I don't know if I can try to get back out of the fog, see what happens.
You can try. You could do all kinds of things. Say, you tell me what you're up to, bud.
I'm just
Like,
I'm more so just speaking out loud my options.
Speaking out loud, thinking out loud. You mean?
Both.
Mm,
Both
okay.
is good.
As you say this stuff to yourself, but out loud and staring clearly at the zombie guard, the zombie guard just stands there unblinking, unresponsive to your outer monologuing.
Okay.
Because normally it's inner monologue.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's
That's
Yeah,
my
it's outer
outer
monologue.
monologuing. Hey, I'm gonna try to get out of the fog again.
Yeah, give me another perception roll.
Kai. Da, 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 12.
You walk into the fog in the hopes that you're going to escape it, and you find yourself back at the same point in front of the same guard, but now there's two of them. The other one is wearing a baklava cut fabric or fiber basket. I almost said fabric, but that's not correct. It's a fabric. A fiber basket, like a woven basket. There we go. That's a far more
Like a
accurate
wicker
statement.
looking basket.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like a
wicker
wicker
basket.
basket that's made out of different fibers, and it has clearly been patched, but the holes that make the eye spots have two hilts of what you might guess were some kind of bladed weapon or something like that. He kind of sits there looking side to side, and you can see something protruding from the back, but you can't quite tell what it might be. But the hilts are very indicative to the daggers that you've seen thus far, and from your mundane life of seeing bladed weaponry. It's very hilt-like from the lighting that you could see. And his mouth portion is just a missing lower jaw that is peering through the opening for his mouth.
Okay, well that obviously didn't work, and now there's two of them. I guess I will attempt to communicate. Hello, guards. Can you speak? Can you understand what I'm saying right now?
They stand there, emotionless and zen with their undeadness.
Okay.
They do
Well,
not move or speak.
then I will continue forward and try to make it through the village on for the other side. I don't really know what else to do.
Okay, so you're going to go into the village?
I mean, I can't go back out unless I try to go back out again.
Do you want to?
Yeah, I want to try to go back out again. Because obviously us being split up the first time was bad.
Okay, well, before you make that action, I'm going to switch gears to the Acorn and let her tell me what she's up to. Acorn, you are obviously outside of the fog, in the woods once more, and alone. Obviously, the rabbit is gone. What are you up to, my dude?
What do I have around me again?
Woods and a wall of fog that you breached and are standing where you're at now due to that breaching.
Okay.
That's
Oh,
like
no,
the
the
best I got
rabbit
for
is
ya.
gone. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to look around my current location and find like a smallish rock, and I'm gonna chuck it into the fog.
I want you to give me a perception check. And are you standing still looking about, or are you walking? What's the dealio with the
I am standing
body?
still and just looking around my current radius of where my arms can reach and where I can just kind of bend down and grab it.
So you're standing still and looking. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I still need a perception. Roll me that d20. Yeah, you find a couple small sized pebbles. Nothing too substantially big. Nothing that's gonna feel like your hand fully. About 5 inches around was the biggest one, but most of them are pea pebble size that you can find because it's a very grassy area that you're standing in.
Okay. Well, again, I want to take one of those pebbles and throw it into the fog.
Okay. You chuck one into fog. I'm not even going to have you make like a dex save for that. You just chuck it into the fog and nothing comes of it. You chucked it uh into the fog. Make sure you censor that word. Oh wait, no, it's been long enough.
Okay. Well, it's fog, so obviously I can't see through it, no matter what I do.
You have other options.
Well, I do,
Do you?
but the one I'm thinking probably isn't the best thing to do, but
Let's hear it. I'm game if it's interesting. I'll at least you give it a go. I mean,
well,
anything you want to try, I'll let you do it. Get you killed.
yeah,
Better
yeah,
for me.
yeah. I
You know
get
how
that. I
much I
understand that.
love mutilating you.
I'm going to probably make the worst mistake and go back into the fog, carefully stepping a slowish pace back into it to try to find rabbit.
I want you to give me a perception check. Roll me that d20. Come on.
Roll with it.
You step into the fog. Make sure when you actually do your rolls that you're telling me what your roll is, so that way they audibly hear as well.
Well, you've been tending to say it, or
I have not this
kind of
session.
well, not this one, but the previous one, so I haven't
That's
really said
that
it.
doesn't change anything. I'm asking you to do so. I did it before because nobody else was doing it, so I started doing it, and then now Rabbit has started saying hers. Just
Okay.
please, I'm just asking you to do so.
Yeah, I
Uh,
can do so. I just didn't know we've changed it up, so I just was going back to what we did before.
you got a
The
6.
six. The 6.
You walk into the fog, trying to be super sneaky and careful. I know you're not trying to be sneaky. I just wanted to say it.
Well, I said I was walking quietly, like just kind of going slowly.
Okay, I mean that's for true. Well, you said you were walking quietly, not sneaky. Just saying. I kind of just tucked that knowledge and ran with it. Anywho, continuing on. And you find yourself sitting right back out where you just came from. Like you, I'd assume, went straight ahead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you just found yourself right back where you just went in. Disgruntled soil, ground around you and all.
This time I run at it and start screaming at the same time.
Okay. Uh, give me that perception check. You guys are just gonna spend your time just running around the foggy village, it seems. All right. Give me a semi-decent description of what you're up to.
Wow, I described it before. I'm just running
Yeah,
and
I'm
screaming.
just. Yeah, I just want you to actually kind of act it out for me.
I already did the scream. Pre-roll.
Oh, okay.
Did
She
you not
got-
hear me scream?
She got an 11, by the way.
Yeah, I know what she got.
Okay. Well, no one said anything, so I figured to put that up there.
It's 11.
I know. I
Ah!
immediately asked her like a second ago.
There's
to
me running and
please.
screaming.
You run in, screaming, waving your viney arms, and you find yourself right back where you just ran into.
Okay. Bye, rabbit. I go towards the woods.
You're already in the woods.
Well, I go walk towards further into the woods. Away from my
Go.
current location.
You're proceeding forward without the rabbit.
Well, I can't do anything about the fog. Aside from making camp and just waiting, which that would put us just chilling at the fog forever.
I need your official decision of what you up to.
Well,
Nothing bad ever happens when you split the party, especially in the dead of night.
Yeah.
I take the last point of my turn so the rabbit can go and just make a leaf tent and sit down and take a nap.
Short rest goes day court.
I can't do anything. It's a weird foggy abyss that keeps on sending me back where I started, so... all of it is dependent on if she can actually make it out of there.
It's very unfortunate that the fog is declining declining you. So, final decision, you're just chilling, making yourself a viney tent leaves?
Yeah.
With leaves?
Yeah, and taking a nap.
What's this tent look like, out of curiosity?
It...
Are we like talking
it's
lean-to
not-
type of tent? Like, how do you doing it?
It's not fancy. I'm not great at building tents, so it's just a ramshackle. Picture a Eeyore type structure with a bunch of sticks that a stiff, like, nice wind could just blow it over. It's just ramshackle lean-to.
Are you just taking it from the branches? Or are you using your viney body to make it? Like,
Nope.
how are you
just
going
branches
about that?
and leaves. I'm using supplies around me to build the structure.
So you're not like snapping branches, you're just taking already down branches.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go ahead and give me I'm just gonna call it a performance check. I could say it's strength check, but I'm going to use performance in more of a different sense than normal. Normally, you would use like a performance theatrically, but I'm going to use it in the context of like how well you perform at making your
3.
ramshackle. You put those sticks up, trying to make a lean-to against a nearby tree, and they constantly just keep on falling into a stack of sticks. That's a very happy stack of sticks. I'm gonna give you one more thing that you can do, and then I'm gonna swap over to the fair rabbit.
I curl up like a cat and
On the
just
sticks.
on the sticks. Yes.
You make a little bird nest on the ground.
Yes. It turned into a bird nest.
I'd assume you're going to just try to take a nap there.
Hmm?
You don't want to
really think
try
that way?
again to go back in the fog. You're just like, I give up. I'm just gonna take a nap. I'm gonna take a nap right
I
here.
used sound, propulsion, speed of my body versus not, and it did not work. It put me right back where I started. So it's magical fog that is magical and out of my realm of special abilities.
Could be magical. Could be that you have the navigational skills of someone with a blindfold and their hands tied behind their back. It could be all kinds of things.
Could
Okay,
be.
Rabbit. So you're stepping past the guards and heading into the village, correct?
No, I'm gonna try to turn back around.
God damn it. Okay, give me a perception check.
19.
Cool.
Am I out now?
Yes.
Yes.
You make it out, and you are looking forward, and you see slightly off to adjacent to your left, an acorn nestled on a bundle of sticks.
Acorn, I didn't know you turned into a bird.
Oh, it took you
It's
long
a
enough to
very
get over
happy
here.
and unusual bird.
Well,
It
get
took
up.
forever.
Yeah, the fog is magical, and I have the navigational skills of an amoeba. So there's that.
Well, you did better than I did. I went in there and I just ended up back at the same spot.
Yeah, I did
Oh,
too.
you got-
I kept trying to get out, and it kept me putting me back in there, and I met up with a guard at first, and then I tried to go back out and went back in at the same spot, and there was a second guard there. One had a bucket for a helmet, like some sort of makeshift helmet, and the other one had like a wicker basket makeshift helmet. It was weird.
Well, at least one of them sounds like a basket case.
Hold on. I got this. I got this.
That was clever. He has a basket for his head.
Shut up. It's gonna torment you anytime you make that joke. I know I do it, but I can torment you still, so. It's all continuing.
So now that we're finally together, let's give this place a wide berth and continue towards the village.
Yes, that trail we blaze.
Yes.
Yeah, that trail you blaze. You continue to walk towards the village. Are you still following the river at this juncture, or you kind of veering off from the riverside?
Well, from what we can actually see, are we able to keep going riverside, or how far does the
I
fog
mean,
actually go out?
you can certainly walk riverside if you want, but because according to your map, it does trace right into the village itself, well, into Belthora itself. you could, of course, veer off and just kind of stick within water hearing distance. Like, you can definitely hear the water within a certain distance. Yes, it's a forest, so it's not very far, but you could absolutely choose whether you want to follow directly next to the river or a little off. I just kind of want a bit of a descriptive how you're doing this, just for the ambiance and visualization for it.
Okay. Well, in my opinion, I feel like it'd probably be a little bit more of a straighter path and safer if we stick right next to the river, just so that we don't lose kind of where our directionality is, even without looking at the map.
I agree.
Uh,
And there's no telling what's actually anywhere near like hidden behind trees or bushes or anything in the forest that we'll be able to see. Out
Yeah.
here, at least, it's somewhat kind of
Open.
clearish.
Okay. So as you crease down the river side, listening to the soothing sounds of a slow-moving river, you can start seeing the flickers and flints of magical dancing lights and flame on a distant horizon. It definitely does not look like no 20 miles away from you, though. It looks to be about 5.
Do we see walls from where we're standing?
It's far too dark for you to actually take note of anything. That doesn't mean that you're not. It just means you can't identify it
Okay.
from the your point of reference that you're at.
Okay, well, it seems like the village is a lot closer than I'd initially thought from my map, so I guess we'll just continue down the river.
I wonder if it was maybe
Uh,
the fog.
Kind of distorting time and space a little bit.
Yeah. Considering
I mean,
I tried.
there's only a way to actually know if that's the case.
Well,
We'll save that for another day. We're gonna continue on.
Looking at you're gonna save looking at your map to be able to tell if it was
I mean,
a
I guess
distortion
you could.
for another day. I'm just trying to figure out how the intent on how that makes.
Because my headcanon was thinking the only way to actually figure it out if it's distortion of time and space if we actually went back.
I
Not
mean, the
looking at the map.
easiest choice would be like looking at your map to actually know. Your map was showing you that you were like 20 miles away, according to the scaling that you had. So, I don't know.
I
My
guess
headcanon is that it would make the most sense if you were just looking at your map and
my
seeing what
headcanon
has
is
it
that the
shows.
map actually wouldn't matter much. It would still show the same thing.
Sure, that I could understand that. No, I don't. I don't understand.
I
How that
guess
makes
I would
sense
just
to you.
unfurl my map and look at it.
Oh, I'm not telling you to do that.
Well, I'm
just
doing it.
telling you, like, okay, you look at your map, and it definitely does not look as it did before. It definitely shows that you are actually way closer to the village than you previously seen on your map. There's your answer to that question.
I guess
Very pressing. Waiting until next time question.
I guess I forgot that it's actually an interactive map. My actual map is interactive.
it's the map.
Yeah, I mean, I only told you in the first episode, and it's been some time since that point. but yes, your map is able to move around. Like you can click on it, it will always stay the same like um topical distance. Like you can't zoom in on it or like zoom out, but it shows that you're way closer to the village than what you were actually seeing before.
Well, I guess that answers that question. The fog is a distortion of time and space.
Hey, look! I guess it was next time. Silly people making silly decisions.
More like silly people forgetting silly things.
I wouldn't expect you to take notes or anything. You have a D&D journal, but you know.
Which is brand new, mind you.
Yeah, because a notebook in Discord isn't a thing. I digress. Let's proceed on. You're continuing to walk. Time passes, and you start seeing dawn's light beginning to break. The sky before you starts showing the silhouette, the tops of spiked buildings, like triangle spired buildings. Why did I say it like that? Buildings and the classic. I don't remember what it's called, but the tops of like castle walls they're called.
Oh
Hold
yeah,
on, I'm gonna
looked it
look
up.
at it. Yeah.
I can't remember the name either. There's the P, I think. Portcullis? Is that it?
No, it's just the battlements.
Is it the
It's
battlements?
parapets.
Parapets.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah, parapets.
What did you say? I
Portic-
wasn't listening.
Portcullis.
That's the metal gate doors.
Okay.
Yeah, the one that blocks them off for the sieging.
Yeah, that's the doors.
I had
To, like,
I had a
seeds
P
and
word, just
stuff
not
like
the
that.
right P word.
I mean, yeah. And you start seeing the very faint outlines of those things. The light from the the fire and the flickering. I'm getting my brain all mixed up. The light from the flickering flames and Mage Light are even starting to lose their girth of light, their illumination of light. There we go. It is late. Leave me alone. Not all of us can be 100% every single second.
Girth of light. Some thick light.
It's like I said, it's still the same thing, but it's just a really weird way to gauge it. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not going to defend that.
I'm dead.
I mostly just use girthy just because of the fact that Acorn doesn't believe that people gauge male genitalia on the word girth, but in thickness. And it's I don't know where you've been there, Patrick, but clearly it's been under a rock. Because that has always been a thing. And so I found a time to actually torment her for that, and I took it. It just sounded really weird, though. Yeah, so you're still proceeding onward. I would say, let's call it about 30 minutes have passed thus far. So you're still a good chunk away. And I need you both to give me a deck save.
Oh, Jesus. $13.
And 7.
As you're walking near the side of the river, heading towards Belflora, you don't really feel anything going on that's too much out of the ordinary, but then suddenly the ground gives way, and Rabbit, you manage to grab a hold of a nearby brush that saves you from falling into the water. However, Acorn falls with the collapsing of the soil into the river and is now soaking wet and being pulled by the river towards the village.
Oh, Jesus.
Acorn, I need you to give me another dex save and a perception check. For your dex and your perception check rolls, what were they?
Is 16 and 14.
As you're getting swept down the river, you grab a hold of a protruding root that you can just barely see and sense, considering your spriggan nature, and you grab a hold of that root, and next to it is a goblet shaped cup. You don't quite know what kind of material it's made out of. What do you want to do?
Going to examine the goblet a little
While
bit
you're
closer.
hanging in the river?
Oh, probably not. How
Oh,
far is
you
the edge
can.
from me?
It's right there.
It's right there?
It's
Okay.
you're
I launched my body over to grab where the edge of the river is and the ground meets and pull my body up.
okay. Since you're launching yourself, give me an athletics check, I guess. Beat a 10. So just a D20 again.
D20.
Since you're launching yourself out of the
18.
water instead of cool, you use the springiness of the root and your elastic-esque body to slingshot yourself out of the shore of the water, doing cool guy flips in the air until you stick the landing. You throw your arms up and go, ah, yeah, I got a cup, a goblet.
Ah, look at this fancy cup.
Because you opted to say launch, it just
Well, I
stood
figured with
up
how the
and
water
walked
was,
out. But
it might
I
be safer.
mean, go for
It might be
gold, I
safer.
guess.
Well, it'd be safer because for the water.
Far be it for me to dictate. Yeah, you get out of water. It's not up for me to decide.
In my head canon, it looks like she's a dolphin breaching out of the ocean. Just whee!
Yeah, she just used her body, slingshotted herself out of it. Instead of just standing. She's just like, no, this situation calls for slingshot Acorn.
Hey, it got me out, so
Hey,
I win.
far be it for me to argue that fact, I guess. Rabbit, I'd assume you're catching back up to Acorn. Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la.
Yep, I'm
Back up
going
here.
to steady myself again.
Well, you're very much on sturdy ground. You're good, and
I just wanted to make sure the ground just gave way, so.
yeah, it was kind of a slide in, but from where you braced yourself on that tree, You're certainly on what you feel is sturdy ground.
Okay. Then yeah, I will catch up to Acorn where she had drifted over. Hey, what you got there? It looks like a cup.
It is. I've never really seen anything like it before. Do you notice anything like about it, or does it seem familiar to you?
I don't know. Let me take a look at it. I'm gonna take the cup from her.
Oh, okay. A question for the class is: neither one of you is using a torch or anything at the moment. So how are you examining this? Like against the moonlight?
Oh, from yeah, the only really source of light that we have at the moment, so it would be the moonlight. I mean, the light's like coming over the horizon a little bit, but it's not enough to actually illuminate much.
True enough. Uh, what happened to the torches that you gathered from what I'll just note as the smuggler's den?
Didn't light them. They are just in our packs, I think. Unless we
There
left them
was.
back in the smuggler's den. Might have just left them.
Did you mark it in your inventory for him?
I
I do
don't.
not have any torches in my inventory.
I don't think I did either.
All I
Then
have is the
I'm
bow and the
going
quiver.
to just make the executive rule that no, you did. You in fact did not take it with you, because if you didn't put it in your inventory
Nope.
list, then you do not have them.
Nope. Sure don't.
Go
Well,
ahead and give
don't I
me.
have like night vision?
You wouldn't know that though. Again, let me
Well, wouldn't I know it?
reiterate once more. From what the learned abilities between the two of you in your specific race and slash classes are. Your spriggan existence, you know now that you could die, and so long as your core doesn't get destroyed, over time, so long as you are in soil that has nutrients for you to draw from in nature around you, you will come back every single time unless your core is destroyed. You do not know of any of your powers outside of what the other Spriggan had told you about concentrating and being able to use your body and your root system to make root system to make basically vine traps, spears, what have you, like spikes through the ground and stuff like that.
Okay,
As
but
it goes for any
well,
kind
hold
of
on.
night vision, you do not have a clue because the Spriggan never actually told you. And since you are
Well,
both human beings now forced into a world in which is D&D, uh, you have no clue how to use your abilities. So anything
well,
that requires that kind of know-how would be taught to you, or you could practice and I will run you through checks to find out if you gained that ability. But
okay,
you don't
but
otherwise have that.
okay, but I just wanted for the vision. Shouldn't it just does it not naturally occur? Like, it's my eyeballs just searching or using? Does it naturally just happen? And I just never thought of it as weird because I just always had it. Or
No, it wouldn't be natural.
okay,
Not in your case. Because again, you are human. You are a human playing Spriggan, not a just Spriggan. So yeah, no, you would have to, if you have a night vision, which you do, you have a nature vision, in fact, and basically a dark vision. So long as there's nature, you can kind of use it as your own kind of echolocation system. You don't know that ability yet. You haven't been taught it. You haven't learned it, so you don't know it. Same goes with your species type, which is mycelium. That's how you use your echolocation. It's used as a conduit. Since you chose mushrooms as your communicative species. Unlike the kind of typical, which is like fireflies, you opted for mushrooms, so you need mushrooms, not fireflies, which are quite abundant everywhere and everything during summertime and stuff. As it goes for dark view, like a dark vision, you don't have a clue. You're a
Okay.
human being playing a Spriggan. You've learned 2 abilities because a Spriggan taught you one, and you found out the hard way about the first one. As
Yeah.
again, for the
That's
rabbit,
fine.
she has to consume all the meat of a creature and she will gain its ability. She can change her limbs, one limb, or all 5, like a starfish, or her chest as its own separate thing to that creature. But she can only have one creature at a time per limb. So you can't do like the arms of a dragon, but the hands of a deer. Just to throw out wacky things.
That'd be
So right
terrifying.
now she has multiple irises, giving her 8 irises in total, and her 2 sockets, because she's only a level 2, so she's not getting like the bodily appearance of a spider, but she does have 6 arms right now, because at level 2 she does have 6 arms. She doesn't have 8, but she has 6 because she has legs. So she has 6 arms, 2 legs, but she has 8 irises in her eye sockets, in her 2 eye sockets, which gives her the ability to sense heat signatures from the demonic spiders versus like a normal spider would just feel it by electrical vibrations in the air and just the air change to kind of catch senses of everything around her, including but not limited to scent, because spiders can smell, be it those hairs and their own kind of format to actually to smell. So, but she doesn't have that format. These are demonic spiders, so she's getting to see out of their thermal sensitive eyes. And she's just tracking blood temperature specifically. Now that you guys have yourself out of water, Rabbit, you wanted to inspect the cup.
Yes.
So go ahead and inspect the cup. And to continue the reiteration, I need a perception check from you, Rabbit.
Mm?
At level 2, you are able, with that spider ability, to create web. You can't retract it or do anything too immense with it. You can shoot it to stick to something, but that's it. You cannot disconnect it and like use it in glob form, like Spider-Man in it, to shoot you globs at level 2. But you can shoot webs and crawl on vertical surfaces. However, you are incapable of crawling upside down as of yet.
Okay.
And your arms are vestigial, which, if you don't know what vestigial means, it effectively just means they exist, but they have no real function. So you kind of have just floppity loppity arms that are touching your body. Dirty.
My perception was 12.
Yes. You see that it's the shape of a cup, and that's you can tell that it's a bit weighted. It's not too heavy, but it's not like light as a feather, stiff as a cup.
So I can't tell what kind of metal it's made out of or anything.
No, you can feel that it's cool to your touch, however.
Okay.
And considering your ability right now, I will say that you feel a bit conductive with it.
A bit conductive. Hmm.
That does not limit things. There's plenty of materials and metals that are conductive.
I'm aware. I'm just trying to.
It just differs.
I was trying to think, like, why would it be conductive with me? Did you feel anything when you were holding it, Acorn? Does it feel weird, like, weirdly, like, conductive with this, here, cup?
No, it's just a cool looking cup.
To kind of meta this, just for the meta details, by conductive, it's a way of saying that you could feel um, the electric changes. You are a spider, so you're feeling the current, the magnetic field changes within the cup. That's the only reason it's conductive to your existence. Not like you're feeling an electrical charge kind of conductive.
Okay.
Exactly. It's more metaphysical than,
Actually physical.
yeah, than an actual like lightning current coming from it.
Okay.
Um, can you give me just a kind of general rundown of your inspection with the cup? You might have some extra details. I
Yeah,
just went with like you looking around the sides of said cup.
that's basically just what I'm doing, looking around the sides, and then I'm gonna look on the inside, see if there's any sort of, like, engravings of some sort.
It would, from the darkness that surrounds you, you see nothing but darkness inside the cup. But as you are tipping it around, or are you like keeping it upright while you're looking inside the cup? Like, how are you doing that?
Yeah, I'm just keeping it upright and kind of doing the whole twirling around with my wrists and kind of looking at it from different angles.
Okay. As you're doing so, yeah, it's far too dark surrounding you. You absolutely are incapable of seeing in depth of any kind inside the cup itself.
Okay. Then I'm gonna go ahead and hand it back over to Acorn since she's the one who found it, so she can keep track of it.
As you reach out to hand her the cup, you notice that there's a different kind of sloshing sound than uh, just the river. And as you do it, you feel a semi-warm liquid touching your hand.
Oh,
Grab
Jesus. Okay. What is it? What's touching me? What's touching me?
Have you handed her the cup? Like, are you still in the midst of handing her the cup?
I'm handing her the cup. She has the cup.
Uh, she never said anything about grabbing the cup from you, so.
Well, she said she was handing it to me, so I grabbed the cup.
Yes. There you go.
Obviously, I'm grabbing the cup. She's giving it back.
I
Instead
don't
of putting it in my pack.
that what's obvious to you is not obvious to everyone else. That's why I'm asking for details. This is your guys' story. Put some details behind your interactions, please.
Cup is in my backpack. Safe and sound, going clinky clink.
How did you put the cup in your backpack?
I just tossed it in there like it was a.
Cool. All is well for a little bit. I assume you guys are immediately just moving on
Yeah.
and walking back to the city.
Mm.
And you take a few steps and you start hearing this signature sound of peeing on the ground, essentially.
Okay, that's a weird sound. Are you peeing right now, Acorn?
No, are you peeing? I'm not peeing.
I'm not peeing either. Then what is peeing? I'm scared. I want to do
Hello,
perception
almighty peer.
perception check to see
What
what's
are
going
you
on.
urinating?
Okay, give me a perception check.
You want to do the? You want to look around with me, Acorn? Because I don't I need help looking.
Yeah, do a perception check.
Yeah, I need help. I got a 2.
It must be the darkness. It in just the river sounds confusing your mind because you can't quite discern.
I got a 13.
Acorn starts to feel very warm on her rooty, gnarled butt cheeks and against the back of her thigh leg area.
Ew, 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 disgusting. It's peeing on me.
You also smell the sweet metallic scent in the air that's permeating along with it. Along with that sound, there is slowly a gainful smell that is sweet and metallic.
Sweet and metallic.
Quickly.
I don't think that's pee. Can you spell that?
Well,
It doesn't.
I don't have. I have to.
Do you want to do a perception check?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a 7.
You can certainly tell what what the smell might be. You can't actually identify what the smell actually is, though. It's just like on the tip of your tongue and on the front of your mind. What did you get, Acorn?
Oh, I hadn't actually rolled yet.
Okay,
Um.
you agreed to do a perception check.
Well, I did one earlier, but the second one I hadn't actually done. Was that I was gonna do a perception check.
You
11.
take note of that sweet metallic smell, and it almost smells of you're pretty sure it almost smells of blood, but blood to your mind definitely is not sugary in nature. It's kind of weird.
Very sweet and smelling and bloody somehow. I am going to turn my body around to where the stream is hitting me. And is it still hitting me?
Oh yeah, it's very much still just pouring all over
Okay.
you.
So I
Your
turn
back
around so I'm facing where the stream is, and
No, okay.
I lick it.
Okay.
So you're just twisting your body then?
I turn completely around where my feet are moving, and my whole body is turned so it's facing it. It's not just twisting.
So your feet are facing.
It's about face. It's about face. Like, you
about
know, where
face?
you take you're facing one direction, then you turn completely the other direction.
To make it a 180.
Okay. So you're making a 180. It's like, why not just say I'm turning 180?
I'm not good with the degrees and the 180s and the fractions.
Well,
and
okay,
stuff,
so we know you're not a doctor. Got it.
obviously.
Yeah. Would have guessed. Um. Okay, you turn 180. The sound is behind you now, and uh, definitely still permeating.
Wait, it
And
moved?
you're trying to you lean down and you lick the liquid, like, off the dirt, I guess. That sounds really weird sentence.
Well, there's the stream. What happened to the stream? Is it actually moved?
Yeah,
my
what
body?
happened to the stream that still is streaming? So yeah, what are you guys up to now that it's been
Well, what happens? Nothing
mo-
happens?
you
What do I
tasted
taste?
you tasted the unidentified the taste off of the ground. You're not actually quite sure what you're tasting, mostly because you didn't ask for a perception check.
Well, I just asked what you're tasting now.
Okay,
That was
give
the
me a perception check.
Well, you don't always actually ask for perception when you request what a thing is, so.
I'm going to do it for this.
It's a 5.
It definitely is weird, and it certainly is a sugary taste on the tip of your tongue. You're not really sure what it is exactly, but it kind of tastes like iron mixed with some sugar.
Okay, well, I don't know what this is, but I have a feeling we should probably get out of here, because it probably isn't anything good.
Yeah, I agree. Let's just keep moving.
Okay, as you guys continue to walk, I would say it's been about 5 minutes as you continue to walk, and that sound has not ceased.
Ah, crap, it's following us. Whatever it is.
Do you still feel the warmth on your butt and your thighs?
Yep, I sure do. It is not pleasant. Go away, weird peeing cloud thing, creature, whatever you are.
That's
Shoo!
one way of
Shoo!
putting it, I suppose. Yeah, it this entire time, it's still the more or less the same length of warmth that is down your buttocks and down your leg.
Well, with my spidery vision, is there any sort of heat signature that I could actually see?
No, maybe you give me a little bit more detail into exactly where you're looking and everything.
Well, since she's feeling the warmth on her butt and her upper thighs and everything, I'm just gonna focus in on just that general area.
Okay.
Figure out my butt.
In that case,
It's a nice butt.
yes, you certainly see that there's a low grade heat permeating from the bottom of her bag and down the back of her leg that does not match her heat signature.
Acorn,
Yeah,
could I see that goblet again real quick?
sure, here you go.
I take the goblet.
Okay. Give me a quick description of how you're removing it from her bag, if you would. And give me a performance check along with it.
Well, she's taking it out of her bag and handing it to me.
Doesn't change the facts. They still need. It just changes who's doing the performance check.
Yeah.
But it doesn't
So,
change the
one roll or
facts.
two?
I just need a performance check, so just one d20. And I need you to
I got a
describe how
4.
you're doing it.
It's a 4,
Okay.
and I'm just reaching my hand in and feeling for it in the bag, rummaging through, and just grasping it and pulling it out. By the bit where the whatever the bit between the
neck?
bottom and the top.
The stem.
It's called step.
Yeah.
I said neck. Like it's a bottle.
I'm strangling it and pulling it out.
What side's facing upward now?
I presume the top. I mean, wherever how it
give
is in the
me.
bag, like it's actually.
Yeah, you
against
said that you
that
just
top.
chucked it into your bag. So
Yeah, so
up
it's not facing a
until
certain
just a moment
direction.
ago, it was cup side down, stand side up, more or less. Your cuppeth floweth overeth. Give me a coin flip. Heads, it's upright as you're taking it out. Tails will be upside down still.
Yeah, it's tails.
Okay, as you remove the goblet from your bag, it is consistently pouring out that liquid that is now really strong with that metallic sweet smell.
I would flip that a cup upright. So I think that's your culprit for the liquid that's been on your butt and the back of your thighs.
Okay, I flip it over.
You flip it over, and as you had taken it out of the bag, you had seen the constant, all the way around the rim, worth of a just downpour of liquid. Far more than what should have been able to be held within that cup. Like, it wasn't a cup worth, it was a constant flowing stream of an
A fountain.
unidentifiable liquid. A font, but yeah.
Fontenay.
So, yeah, you would now stop the liquid. You care for a drink?
I mean, you already kind of licked it, so it's up to you.
I take a tiny sip of the liquid.
You take a tiny sip of the liquid. Okay? You take a tiny sip of the liquid, and it tastes metallic-y and sweet, maybe? We'll find out after you give me that perception check, yeah?
It's only a 3. All I know is it's sweet and it's definitely not pee.
It definitely would be the weirdest pee you've tasted, maybe.
Unicorn pea.
Oh Jesus.
It might be unicorn pea. Who knows?
Who knows?
Certainly not you. Takes
Here you
fingers,
go, rabbit.
dips it in the rabbit's mouth.
Bottoms up.
I will take the goblet from her and take a sip myself.
Okay. Same ordeal. Give me that check.
Check, check. 17. Check, check.
You're pretty convinced that it is most assuredly some kind of blood. It definitely tastes like blood. It sends you back into the past when you were like a kid and you had skinned your arm, the top of your arm and hand up a bit, and you were told to wipe some spit in it, but being a dorky child that you were, you opted to lick your hand. And it tastes very similar to that. However, the only difference being is the sweet taste. It's not as tangy and metallic-y, but very sweet. Like someone had mixed sugar into the combination with the blood.
Okay.
And you can't quite identify the way the cup looks. But it doesn't take a rocket scientist, and especially you, who is no rocket scientist, to figure out that there is way more liquid coming out of this cup than should be ever possible, which makes you instantly think that it may be infinite.
Your cup may never run us empty.
Okay.
Got the magic cup.
It's a
Well,
Yeah,
we
magic
now know it needs to be
sort of
upright.
goblet.
yeah, found that out in an interesting way for sure.
Yeah, that's interesting. So I don't know if you want to hold on to it or you just want me to hold on to it, but it definitely cannot go upside down.
A lot of explorers packs have a hook where you could place certain kinds of like necked items.
Like a
If
loop.
you want to use, yeah, it's basically a loop. If you want to use it, it will keep it upright, and I'll let you use it that way if you want. All I'll need you to do for me is give me a performance check for like how well you put it that way, like how well you actually bound it into that area,
Okay.
because it's not
Okay.
exactly designed for it. So I just want a performance check for how well you performed your makeshift holstering in that area.
Okay. Well,
Alrighty.
you gotta decide who's actually gonna take it. Do you want me to keep it, or do you want to take it back?
You keep it, cause I feel like I'm gonna jostle it somehow, and I'm already still recovering from when it decided to pee all over me.
Okay, that's fair. All right, I gotta leave and.
Okay, you managed to bind it correctly in a basket weave, like hanging plant basket weave style hook. So it is standing upright or hanging upright.
Okay. Then shall we mosey on? I think we're getting a little bit closer to the village now.
Yeah. This has only been about 5 minutes, but yeah, you were definitely seeing the walls of the city grow. What's that P word?
The I
Performance check.
already forgot. No, the P word for on top of the actual wall itself.
Nope, not on top of the wall. I need the gating.
The portcullis?
Oh, portcullis.
There you go.
Yeah.
It starts coming into view from your distance, because you are pretty close. You're seeing all the outlier housing and kind of farm ranch areas that are scattered around the city are very much coming into view. But with that also is coming the dawn's first light, which means you are really running out of time. But you are starting to see through the parcellas and to the actual village from the waterway. And from there, you're starting to see very much the glow from the inner city in shapes, tiny people shapes and bigger shapes that are taller than those and wider than those are starting to move about because of how close you're getting to the villages or the city's side.
Mm. Okay. Is there some sort of a like drawbridge that we can see from here, or are we too far away still?
Uh, from where you're at near at the waterway, you can see off to your left past a housing, a protrusion in a cart rolling by down the road, taking what's probably some goods. Uh, and with that, kind of gives you a vague idea that there's a road, a proper road over there. It might be an entrance. You're not entirely sure. From where your perspective is, you can't see anything like that, but you can see what kind of fits the classic uh, movies and shows that you've seen from your world.
Okay.
And the wagon kind of gives you a bigger indicator that you might be correct as to exactly what's going on there.
Okay.
Oh.
Then. Well, Acorn, you saw the wagon that they're over there, right?
Yeah.
Maybe some sort of like road. Instead of walking along the river, let's go ahead and head towards where the wagon came from.
Well, that sounds like a plan.
Okay.
As you proceed to head back towards the road, possible road, uh, you have to walk through someone's property area. There's a fenced off section in space to actually completely walk by there. The one giant difference is there's no real entire sure way for you to see where exactly you're supposed to be heading to in that it in the case of getting past that fence line. Uh, you can see that there is a fence line, but it's still a bit too dark. So you can see parts of where there's like they have lit up with torches, so you know there's a fencing that spans out, but it doesn't look as though it's actually going completely across. It looks like it's only where the house is behind it. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you give me a dex check and a performance check and what's called an acrobatics check. I want all three.
So
I'm hoping
roll
one of you fails.
three
I
d20s.
need three d20s. Because you don't know if there's a fence that expands way further out, but you can clearly see that there is a fence within like a certain span of around the house where it is clearly a fence being lit up by the torches.
Okay.
But it's still a little too dark for you to actually know how much further out it goes.
For my 3, I had 17, 17, 13.
Yeah, you more or less get a walk around. You kind of notice that there's a shadowing that is coming into view that's getting lit up, and you can kind of see that there's a fencing that expands a little bit further out than the area that's being affected by the light of the torches.
Okay.
I'm still waiting for
Gonna-
Acorns doing.
3, 19, 16.
Acorn starts to trot along behind you, but for whatever reason, she kind of just tripped herself and falls face first into a random cow patty.
Ew.
Ew,
And then
cowpie.
it touches the fins, falls over it, and takes 3, or no, not 3. She takes 2d4 of damage from electrical shock. Shock damage. God damn it! It's too late. You're taking 2d4 of shock damage.
Brain goat, nah.
Brango da.
Okay, so for 2d4, that means I need to roll for the shock damage, right?
Yeah, it is. Yes. I'm just gonna say yes,
Roll.
considering my brain is going. Bleh.
It's 1. 1.
1 and 1, so
Cool.
2
You
points of
take
damage.
2 things of damage from getting shocky shocked.
It's just a static. It's fine.
Hmm.
Static shock. Anyone else watch that show? It's a good show. Anyways, you pick yourself up and you notice that your body actually has begun to absorb the cow fecal matter into your existence. You're gross.
That's
And you get a new
disgusting.
mushroom.
Ooh, look at
Yay,
that!
mushroom.
You got a little baby. Look at that. It's so cool.
Well, you don't see it. You just she can just feel a new one sprouting.
Okay, you
I
don't
feel
actually.
it growing inside me.
Kinky, I think.
There's a mushroom coming into existence.
Is that how? Is that your interpretive mind dance of a mushroom being born?
My,
Yeah.
you guys want to
Yeah.
know what my headcanon is?
Sure.
Do you remember that weird puffball that is actually like, can't remember what movie it was, but it's a weird puffball and it like grunts really hard and then out of its forehead it pops out of like a daisy or like a dandelion out of its forehead. Can't remember what the frick movie is called.
I have no.
I think it's Horton Hears a Who.
Yeah, it is, because it's the one that says the unhinged crap.
Yeah, that one. It says really weird unhinged stuff, and then it like finally matures and like grows. It like grunts really hard, and then pop out of its forehead comes like a dandelion. That is my headcanon. What that was. That's why I laughed so hard.
Yeah, I'm gonna it just.
It's Katie.
default
Yeah,
and-
Katie. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
It's a magnet
I-
full of ponies,
I
rainbows, and
watched that movie
butterflies.
once.
Ha!
I've seen that movie one time in my entire life, so I'm gonna just take your word for it because I don't remember the movie like at
That's
all.
my headcanon. I've only seen it once as well, but that scene stuck with me. Because that Katie was making the most unhinged comments, like out of pocket, like completely out of pocket.
Yeah. It's where everyone is a pony, eats rainbows and poops butterflies.
Ah. Anyway, let's continue.
Hold on. I got an image for that. Well, you can continue. I'm just gonna post it in there when we get it.
Yeah, we'll pop it. We'll pop it up. Okay. Well, that little athletics trying to get around that fence kind of made me thirsty. I'm gonna take that goblet back out of my little loop area. I'm gonna take a big old good swig out of it.
All right. You take a tall swig of sweet, sweet blood, and your hand starts gesturing. It reaches for the flute and starts playing a random tune. Like you just suddenly became a bard. You are just jamming on that flute, and everything stops. No sound is being made from anywhere around you. It seems like any person or any kind of figures that you could see moving before have just stopped moving. And the grass blades not even swaying, tree leaves ceased. All things around you have stopped. And before you stands the demon and asks you flat out, how did you do that,
Well,
mortal?
I took a big old swig out of this here goblet, and I kind of lift it up next to my face and kind of give it a smile. I did. I drank out of this. And then my hand just kind of did its thing. So that's what happened.
With the poof of smoky wisp, the demon, the devil disappears and remanifests behind you, the goblet out of your hand in the dragon's book in his other hand. And you just hear little sip sounds from him. And he opens up the book and turns around, and you can hear from between the both of you and behind you, each one of these pages is a spell. Each one of these spells summons me. I know. Exciting. I bet you're just so happy that you get to put up with me. But for each of these, once a day, you will be able to summon me to your side to attack, defend, or whatever it might be of my assistance that you will require for one of spell a day. If you require me to kill, I get their souls. If you require me to save, I get their souls. That is the terms of this deal. Each of these spells that are in this book, you will have to decipher, because that's not my problem. This is the terms of my contract with, well, we'll call it the original holder of this book. And this is a contract that will continue with you, foolish beings. Here's one of the spells. Time of Songs. And if you truly, truly feel like you need to annoy the living crap out of me, you can use one other spell that is on the back of the book. It's the Song of the Damned. And it will summon me, and I'm more or less just going to be stuck here for 1 day's duration and being annoyed by you. I hate mortals more than anything, but I do love your souls. They are quite delectable. So use it wisely. I don't feel like making camaraderie with you fools.
Ah, you'll grow to like us. It's fine.
He chucks the book, it lands at your feet. He chucks it, I'll give a little more detail. He chucks the book over his left shoulder. It lands perfectly at the end of your toes. And chucks the goblet, and it also lands perfectly on top of the book. And you see the bloody liquid slush. That liquid is infinite. Drink a tall drink if you're absolutely just wanting to be the biggest nuisance to anyone and everyone of this world. But if you want to do yourself a good favor, I would get rid of that thing. Take it back to wherever you got it and never, ever play with it. It will do more damage than it will ever do you mortals any good.
Or you could possibly teach us a way to actually use it properly.
What do
Because,
I gain from assisting you in that endeavor?
possibility of more souls in the future?
The only reason is you were compelled to play that blasted flute. I'd rather far would rather sit in the Infernal Lands doing my thing than ever be stuck in this gross, bright, disgusting little world. Of all the places to summon me to, it has to be this stupid little, disgusting little, disgusting. I can't even think. It just is stagnant. This world has been like this for so long. The only time souls leave this place is when I come here. Do you know how annoying it is to be a devil lord and be summoned just to fetch souls that belong anywhere else? I am working for the stupid little angel because I'm the only one who possesses the ability to go in and out of here. Of course, I have to take back channels such as that stupid flute, but I make do. Do not think to summon me, mortal, unless you need me. If you summon me, I will make you suffer. Don't make a habit of playing with mortals.
Understood.
I'm telling you, I will take your flesh and I will turn you inside out and I will feed you to whatever rancid dog I come across. And then once he shits you out, I will reconstitute your body and I will do it again. Do not make me suffer the consequence of allowing you to breathe with that flute in your possession. Do I make myself clear, mortal?
Yes.
Good, good. I'm glad we actually got this solved. Goodbye. Thanks for the drink. Snaps his fingers and he disappears in a plume of black smoke. You're totally gonna summon this asshole just to fuck with him, aren't you?
Possibly. Probably. I don't know.
Mm,
I'll think about it.
picks up flute and starts playing.
No. Well, that was eventful. Is everything moving again?
Nope. Time is very much still stuck. And probably not for the better. Who knows? And no one's made a perception check to really be able to tell if that's a good or a bad thing.
Perception check.
I will also do perception check.
Cool. 2 random perception checks. Okay.
6. I failed.
Also 6.
Wow, we're so perceptive.
It just looks basically like the same time frame, and everything's still stuck in place. Woo!
So, Bee and Acorn are the only things that can move, or is she still stuck too?
Mm.
Since I'm the only one
No
who
idea.
actually took a drink out of it.
No clue.
Can I perceive what is going on with Acorn right now?
Possibly.
I don't feel stuck.
Oh. Oh, I got a nat 1.
Hmm.
I critically
Yeah, you
failed.
did.
I failed
Yeah.
so hard.
Hey, Corb. Will you do me a favor? Do a check for me. Perception.
Nine.
Perfect. You only needed to beat a 5. Your dear friend who took a dull drink of that goblet foolishly is just standing there, not even blinking. She's gonna probably have some really dry eyes.
Just standing there staring and blinking.
No, unblinking. She's not
Yeah,
blinking.
unblinking. That's what I said. Unblinking. That's what I said.
Yeah, to her she's blinking, but to you she's not.
So she can't. The rabbit can't see it.
Yeah, she's for you. Everything is moving as normal. For her, everything might as well be frozen in time, including you.
Okay, so it's frozen for the rabbit.
Yeah, you. It from what you can tell, that's meta knowledge, mind you. From what you can see in world, is that she is simply just standing still, not even blinking. The expression on her face is a regular rabbit expression. A standard state.
I just want to make sure I got it right because there's the she and the her, and I was like, wait, she,
Nope,
me,
that's
her,
fine.
who?
You're good.
I take my finger and I poke her cheek on her face. Gently.
You poke her in the cheek. Cool. Hey, I want you just for the giggles. Do it for the lulz. Give me a strength check, would you? Yeah, I know. I'm just making him do checks a million times a day, but it's for
Yeah.
funsies. Little quirky instances.
6.
You just forget to understand your own strength, or maybe you use the correct amount of strength and something else is going on. But you push on her cheek, and it just remains a nice little crater in the side of her cheek. Doesn't it go back to normal as you would think a cheek should? Just stays punctured in. Now, mind you, like cratered in would be more of an accurate because it's just being pushed inward. Mind you, you only needed to be a 2. Like, there was nothing. She's just frozen in time, is what you're starting to think as you're standing there because you push in her cheek and it just stays.
So, okay, quick question. Anytime I actually play one of these songs, it will summon the dude.
Yes,
Okay.
that is what he told you.
Yes.
If any of the songs that you actually play from that, he didn't give you all the details. Simply just told you any time you play any of the songs, he will come into existence. He didn't tell you in what capacity or any of that. Besides for the last one. That is a different case, obviously. More or less, if you want to play the last page, as he told you, you more or less summon him for a day. Mind you, you'll annoy the fuck out of him for doing it, but hey, that's his problem.
Yeah. Okay, just for my notes, what was the last song's name? 'Cause I have Time of Songs and Songs of the Damned.
I'm not telling you.
You're not telling me,
No.
but why?
Mainly because I used a random gen and I already cleared it before I
Jesus
saved it,
Christ.
apparently.
Yeah, because I only written down
I'll
the
go
2.
with what his base is off of, and we'll call it the binding song of the sun's shadow.
And that's the one that's on the back of the book, right?
Yep, that will be the one that's in the back of the book that allows you to more or less summon him and bind him to the world for a day, and he will be played by me. That probably won't be as obnoxious as his demeanor, but he'll be bound as a companion for 24 hours for you.
Okay.
But yeah, I would just mark that one to the binding of the sun's shadow.
Okay. Well, I gotta figure out how to unfreeze type, so I apologize, V, if this that brings you out, but I'm gonna play Time of Songs on the flute.
You're gonna summon him automatically? My eye
No.
was itching. I just wanted to make sure.
Well, I don't really know what
Well-
else to do. It's the only spell that's in here that has anything to do with time.
Okay. So you play the little tune to the best of your ability, which since you have a proficiency with mouth instruments, that sounded really dirty. I'm going to just have you give me a performance check just to go off the premise that you're kind of doing it in a endangered sense, like a press for time. Get it?
Yeah.
Kind of situation that you got going on.
I got a 3.
That's fine. I just wanted you to do it for
That
role
knows.
play sake. You play the song and he appears. Jesus.
I'm sorry. I'm
Why?
sorry. I apologize. I just have a little issue. Things are still frozen around me. Can you help me with that?
As you say that, you take notice that he is not dressed normally anymore. He is dressed like a grandfather clock.
I'm not even gonna question. Can you help me, please, with the whole freezing of time thing? And then you can go back to whatever you were doing. I'm sure you were busy, but I just need help with this one thing, and then you can just go away.
Yeah, you interrupted me in my dorji and then dressed me in this.
Sorry.
Every time you idiots decide to I should if I would have never have lost the bet, this would never be a thing.
I'm sorry.
I know I'm going to regret this, but I do not care. Because I'm going to have to deal with this anyhow. But for every spell, I will be dressed in a different costume that corresponds with the freaking summoning spells. Hate my existence when I'm in this stupid bubble. So if I had to put up with you, human,
Mm.
you have to make it your goal to get this stupid bubble popped or destroy it. I don't care which. But 1,000 years is far too long to deal with this.
I will do my best.
Will you?
Please help me. Yes, I'll do my best.
You wish to make a devil's deal to guarantee?
Guarantee what exactly? That I will do my best?
Just a simple gentleman's contract between you and the Devil Lord. That you will do your utmost to accomplish the desired goal between the both of us. You get to go to your boring theological world that abhors science, and I get to go and stay in the infernal world where I belong, and I don't have to dress up in ridiculous costumes. In this world, it has a result. It finally gets to be free. No more infinite dungeon. No more trap souls. I don't have to play a balanced scion, and everyone gets to be happy. Do we have a deal?
What are the terms and conditions? I'm reading the fine print.
Oh, there is no fine print. I simply will do my utmost to ensure that I get what I want, which would so happily be what you want. To get out of this place.
So there's no
Some
caveat, there's no like, hey, catch 22 type of situation.
In this case, no, mortal. Do you see me? I am dressed as an, albeit gorgeous, but I am dressed as a grandfather clock due to that spellbook's creator.
You cannot
I am
blame
dressed
me
as a
for
grandfather
covering
clock.
my
We
booty.
do the Song of Storms, effectively. The Song of Hellish Storms, and I will be stuck as a cloud with little fake lightnings. I hate that book. But the only way to get rid of that stupid book is if this bubble pops. That's why that stupid dragon was supposed to actually hold it. Not give it away to the first human adventurers they came across. Yes, I'm aware that you're from a different world altogether. One that is boring. In that you guys are possessing the bodies of very much, well, all around better creatures than yourselves actually are. Now, if you don't mind, I would like to be despawned and sent back to my dorgy.
I do have.
If you need to know, that is a dwarf orgy. I like to have fun.
I do have one more question before you
Ugh.
turn back the time and everything and make sure it's actually moving forward. What do you know of the Jester?
The who?
The Jester? Have you heard of a Jester?
Yes, it's a job that some people take to amuse courts. What's your point?
There is a guy that's been he kidnapped me twice now, and I kind of made a deal with him. I didn't know if there's any like info you could give me. Like, he's kind of tall, has the obvious Harlequin like outfit, everything like that. I didn't know if you had any intel on what kind of a person he is exactly.
No. That sounds ridiculous. Who would dress as a jester? Who would want to be dressed in a Harlequin's outfit? Actually, one does come to mind. But I'm unable to tell you that. There's certain celestial rules that even I must abide by.
Okay, well, I figured I would ask. You go back to your Dorji. You look great in that costume, by the way.
Do not a single word. Snaps his fingers and disappears. And as he disappears, time starts flowing back to normal.
Whoa, that was trippy. Acorn, are you moving now?
Am I moving now?
Yeah, are you moving now?
Yeah.
Can you move your limbs? Cool.
Well, I'm gonna wiggle on and see.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Boo.
Boo. Boo.
Not even gonna relay that info to her, huh? Not you, rabbit, talking to Acorn.
Well, nope,
Okay,
I'm not.
that's fine with me. If I'm fine with that.
Well, now that the time has been reinstated, shall we mosey?
That'd be a good idea.
Cool. Let's go.
Awkward.
Alright, moseying on to the road that we perceived before.
Okay. So you get up to the road and you can see the front of that house and a bunch of lights that line all the way into the city. There's a few carriages that you can see coming and going to and fro inside the city walls, and a bunch of different beings that are also just walking around. Nothing out of the ordinary of that, just the entrance of the town and a banner that has the Belthora name in the crest that is a bell and a thorn.
Okay. And doors wide open? Is the portcullis closed? What's going on with
No,
that?
it's open.
It's open? Okay. I don't know if they closed it after the carriage went out.
No.
Okay. I guess we'll just proceed through the door.
Cool. Let me
Howdy ho, neighbors.
remember which. So yeah, you pass a bunch of random houses and you're going into the village. Yep, so you're right there. You see a sign that says Hamlet Roadway, telling you what the district is that you're currently standing in.
Okay. I'm
I
gonna
had to
take
pull up the map real fast.
I'm gonna take a talk about maps. I'm gonna take a gander at my map, and well, I don't know if anything's gonna be open right now, but we can always give it a shot. I want to see if there's any appraisers, like for jewels and stuff. It's particularly close by.
Let me check for you. Give me just a second. Boo-doo-boo. Boo-ba-doo-boo. Boo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo.
Elevator music. Elevator music. Elevator, elevator, elevator music. Boots and cats and boots and cats. That's not elevator music, but it's fine. Stand by.
Well,
Hmm?
Loading.
elevator
Yeah,
music is any kind of music you're in an elevator with, so.
I mean, by
Okay.
technicalities, yes, but it's not your typical, like, elevator type style music you're actually used to. Like the
my
soothing jazz.
my thing's being a bit difficult, so I'm having to actually manually click everything because it's not wanting to show the chops in the color coded
Okay.
format.
You want to pause while you're looking for it?
One more time. I didn't catch that. It was
Pause while you're
okay.
looking at it. Do you want to pause while you're looking for it since it's manual?
No, it's fine. It doesn't really matter. You guys can just kind of give me your own take. What's just kind of allow you guys to make your own experience for what you see around that area. So from where you're entering, there is a bunch of residents and a virgin moneylender. It's just the name of the place. And a couple bathhouses to, well, from your perspective, it would be to your left at the first intersection, which is a block up. There's a couple bathhouses up that way. There is a casino that you can see sparkling lights quite a bit further, about 2 blocks up from you, and a couple other things that you can't quite tell, but there are signs directing you to these businesses and services. There is a garment maker, or well, they don't make garment; they're spinners, which is effectively they make string and fabric. There's also a bank and another money lender. There's a lot of money lenders in this one quadrant. There is
Yeah,
also a sign that points you 2 blocks up and to the right to go to a funeral, an undertaker. A few blocks over to your right is a seer. They might be able to help you with that. There's architects, cheese makers down the road to your right. And a couple more banks and other kinds of stuff. I'll let you play with your own description of what you're seeing and doing. And again, there's all kinds of D&D beings around you and a bunch of houses. And if you want to know if just let me know which ways you're going, and I'll give you a little bit while I start filling out the town finally, because I really haven't had to pay attention to this side of town, considering you guys were on the exact opposite side when you began. So that's the only side I ever really paid any mind to for the longest time. And it's been a couple weeks. So I need to refresh myself, and I think it'd be kind of interesting to kind of have you guys make your own perspective of what you're seeing and up to. I'll play any extra NPCs that you're running into that you're deciding to talk to. But I'll let you kind of give yourself some guidance using those GM toolkit apps that you have from Android
Well,
that allow you
I
to
just
actually
don't want to
generate stuff.
move
You're in
quite
town.
yet.
You're fine.
Yeah,
No,
well, no, I'm not
if you don't
fine.
want to move, that's fine.
Well, I mean, I don't know if we're fine, because what happened to the rabbit before when it's unfamiliar territory of, like, actually terrain.
No, you guys are in town. There's guards and cops and all that kind of stuff. So you're actually not that far away from the barracks, in fact.
Okay.
So you have your traditional kind of phantasmal fantasy town. So dark wood roofing with tile shingles, like the rounded tile style shingles, like the sun baked bricks, I guess, if that helps. A bunch of houses in different routes to different kind of businesses, banks, and kind of just about it. There's a bathhouse that's about a block and a half away from you. And a plethora of NPCs. I'm just looking for
Oh.
your artificers, so I kind of know where they are specifically.
Okay. Well, the one thing
I
I
can do a search
want
bar. Frick yeah.
to do is,
No, I need to change my batteries.
at the very least, it's going to the bathhouse and rinsing off all the weird pee off me.
Okay.
I shall join you. Just watch your
Uh,
back. I don't necessarily need to go into the bathhouse for myself, but I'll be there.
Scrub a dub dub. Hop in the tub.
so you guys are heading up 2 blocks,
Mm.
which means that it's just getting a little brighter outside. And the building that you come up on looks similar in a lot of ways to the other residing buildings, and it looks as though they refurbished a larger house. Might have been it might have been a middle class house or an upper middle class house, but you see a lot of steam and chimneys coming out of the roof, and a bunch of towels that are being loaded and unloaded from the west side of the building. Or no, I guess it'd be west side of the building. And then you see old, broken down like bathtubs, like tiny bathtubs that are sitting there that someone's breaking down and re-mending nearby. I'm going to say that you guys are out front. Sunrise is at 7 o'clock, and I'm going to say that right now it is 5:56.
Okay. Well, if this still has functional bathtubs and stuff, you could try to get in there if you want to talk to that person that's mending that tub there.
Yeah. Hey, yo, person, I need a bath. Please.
Rabbit, before you get get charged and everything to take your baths and everything, you opt to look at your map and you take note that the only artificers, oddly pretty grouped up, but are in the Dusk Strip and over in the Winover uh, districts, as well as Exchange Corner.
Okay.
I don't know how well you can read them from the map I had made you, but you could definitely read the Dust Strip and everything. But so you head inside the bathhouse, and inside the bathhouse, you end up coming across a very big orc who has a perm. Very weirdly enough, he has perm and what appears to be blush on his cheeks, and very flamboyantly looks at you like, "Oh, aren't you so precious?" Kind of speech about him.
Okay.
And he is taking note of your appearances. What could I possibly help you, beautiful ladies, with?
We would like a bath, please.
How much do
What
you?
does a plant person need with a bath? What kind of being are you? Is this your construct, little lady?
No, it's just my friend. She's a mushroom spriggan.
A spriggan?
Yes.
There
Hello.
hasn't been spriggans in these parts in 70,000 years, give or take. I've heard tales of Spriggan, but I've never seen them. This is just so fabulous. Hold on, let me go grab Frankie. Frankie, darling, Frankie. You got to see the Spriggan? It's a relic in our own bathhouse. Isn't it precious?
Hi, I'm covered in pee. Can I please take a bath?
Honey, you don't smell like you're covered in pee. You smell like you've been... Someone drowned you in their wine. A vampire's wine, apparently. Ooh, wee.
She definitely needs a bath. It's just all over
Mm.
her butt and her thighs and everything, and she's just sticky, and yeah, she definitely needs one.
Oh, honey, I've been there so many times. I've
Wait,
been
hold on.
all kinds of sticky.
Hold on. I
Hold
don't
on
think
to
we're talking
what?
about the same thing here.
Of course we are. Wine. You spill it, it gets all sticky, especially honey mead.
Wine. Right. I wink at the tub.
Aren't you
There's a-
cheeky?
uh.
I soon will be when I get in the bath.
Hey
Oh,
yo.
honey. I don't know if a bathhouse is appropriate place for a Spriggan. Now, you, Precious, on the other hand, with your mini irises in your mini little arms, it will be 5 gold for you to strip down and take a nice, lovely, steamy bath. As for you, Madam Spriggan, are you able to go in steamy hot water? Or would a cold bath suit you better?
Cold bath will do me nicely.
Great. There's a river about 3 blocks to the west.
Wait, I really don't want to be separated from my friend here.
Well, I don't need a bath. I'm good. I was just here for support for you.
Honey, I can smell you. You need a bath. An exfoliation as well. Look at that skin. Oh god, it's a travesty.
As lovely as that offer is, I don't really have the time, but I will possibly, hopefully, come back and enjoy your
Oh.
bathhouse.
Honey, why don't you tell me what ails you? Everyone's got time. We're trapped in a bubble world after all.
Well, this here person does not have the time. I have an appointment that I have very, very soon that I need to get to.
Honey, you're very human. You're definitely not a white rabbit. Why don't you tell me what appointment that you have to get to that so desperately?
Basically,
Come on, tell Bobby Orc what you have to get up to.
You wouldn't believe me even if I told you.
Honey, I know what it means to kiss and don't tell. Just like, if you don't ask me, I won't ask you. So why don't you tell me instead? And we'll see what I believe.
What's happening?
I don't know what's happening. I feel inclined to spill the beans to this orc here.
I mean, if only Lady you flick it, it could be 20 gold for you.
Is it getting hot in here? Oh, I'm not even close to the bath.
That's Frankie. Tieflings and all. They like to get hot and heavy after all.
That does
No
make
matter
sense.
which way they swing it, you always hear a slap.
I am speechless. I don't know what to say right now. I don't know where this accent is coming from.
I don't know either. I think the lewdness is like making you guys go into smut book mindset. Like, what's
do-
about to happen?
I do declare, I think we're about to have some fun.
And-
Are you going to tell them what's going on, or what are you up to?
yeah, I'll tell, but you have to promise not to tell anybody.
Honey, I know a thing or two about don't ask, don't tell. I think you're quite alright here.
Well, I owe this guy some money, and if I don't pay him this amount, he's going to possibly kill me.
Who?
I don't know if you've heard of him, but the jester.
You mean the man behind you?
The man behind me. What?
Oh crap.
Oh God.
Dun dun dun.
Hello, ladies.
Yep, that's him.
Of course it's me.
You're early,
Who else would be this glorious?
and you're early.
Not early. 7 o'clock. I just like to be prompt.
It is not 7 already. It did not take us that
Got
long.
the time, my dear?
It's half
Because I'm
past
pretty
a
sure
monkey's
you don't know
uncle.
how to check a broken clock. It's always correct twice a day.
Well, Justy.
You got my money?
I have
Jesse,
Justy.
you got some balls on you.
I'm just trying to
He
be
claps
friendly.
his hands together and transports you both into a room that is drenched in blood, viscera, and bones just scattered everywhere along the walls, hooked to spikes and chains. You hear the constant procession of screams and torment that are happening, echoing against every wall. You were saying?
Well, we're in danger.
I was saying I
This
have
looks
You have
cozy.
no idea.
I have stuff that I could possibly interest you instead of money.
Such as what?
I have this here skull with the gems at its eyeballs, and I reach in my bag. and
Hey,
hold it out.
it's Willard. I've been looking all over you. Well, for you, not all over you. Not yet. Skull caps. Jeweled.
Yeah,
He
I've
snatches it from you and shoves it down his pants.
I found him in the smuggler's tunnels. Is what it's called? Smuggler's Den.
Yes.
Tunnels.
I know where you found him. I just been too, well, lazy actually.
Well, you said
to go
you
fetch him.
were looking for him, so I figured you lost him.
I was looking for him, but not very. Hold on, you called me Jesse.
I did. Is that was that not okay? Or are we not friends? I thought we were friends.
He snaps his fingers, and you are now falling. And without any note to what's happening to you, you are suddenly hanging from above both Acorn and the Jester.
Nope.
Only the Jester is staring up at you, and you feel the sharp pain beneath both your shoulder blades as you are being hooked You can feel the sharp, jagged metal caressing the back of your lungs from underneath your ribcage.
Okay,
What
I'm
is
sorry.
my name?
Jester, I'm sorry. I thought we were friends. You said we were friends.
He snaps his fingers once more, and now you have a pendulum that is swinging to and fro between you and a nearby wall with a very dismembered body that's been hanging probably for a long time because it's how badly it's rotted, and the little creatures that look like imps are gnawing on the broken down body hooked to chains as the pendulum starts ticking and moving closer and closer to you.
Okay, I'm sorry. Your name is Jester. We are not friends. I apologize.
Snaps his fingers once more, and you're standing before him along next to Acorn, back to where you were last positioned.
Jesus.
My money! Now!
I have this other thing. Give me 1 second. Let me roam around in my bag real quick. It's in here somewhere.
My money or your soul?
I have a this. I hold out the baby rattle with the jester cap shaped baby rattle. I hold that out.
I remember that when I was a kid. No! Snaps his fingers once more, and you are now incorporeally separated from your body. And you are floating, and he is holding you by your soul's throat. From Acorn's perspective, he is standing there holding nothing. And your physical body is slumped on the ground. No.
Okay. Well,
My money
experience.
or your soul.
Or I can give you more stuff, and here's a jester cap that I found down there too.
Keep it.
Keep the jester cap? You
Here,
don't want it?
boys. And he snaps with his other hand, and 4 hellhounds start charging around some stalagmites that are nearby to the right of him, and it would be to the left of you, Acorn, around a corner. That it just
Okay.
more or less you could still see on the other side of the stalagmite. So it looks like these guys literally just kind of came directly from behind the stalagmite, as if they just tore through reality. Because there was no way, like, you could see that there's more craziness behind there, but you could see pretty well behind the stalagmite. So it doesn't even look like they came from any direction. They just came from directly behind that stalagmite. Whether or not they were just hanging out behind it, you have no clue. But from where you're sitting, it certainly does not appear as though they came from any one direction, but just came out of the stalagmite itself. Time to eat for daddy.
Wait. I have more things.
Like my money.
I have a little bit of money, but I do have another. Well, I don't have it. Acorn has it. She has a blue gem in her bag that she could dig out for you.
You know what I really like? My money.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't have anything that is actual money aside from the materials. Isn't being reunited with your friend enough? And plus the memories that you have with the rattle and everything else? That's not enough.
Money pays.
Well,
Money
you said
is power.
you said anything glinty. Money isn't always glinty. Is that correct?
You know, you're right. How about this? He chucks you upon the ground. Time to eat, boys. And the dogs start snarling and creeping closer and closer to your ghostly body. As you are sitting there now prone, you feel a dog on each leg and they're pulling in opposite directions.
Oh, Jesus.
Take it slow, eat her slowly.
Acorn can hear me, right?
Nope.
No. Shit.
You are incorporeal to her. You are a soul. As far as her perspective is, she sees dogs that are tearing it backward, like they're gripping onto something, but she cannot see or hear any of thing from your person. She can just see what the jester is doing, what he's saying, and has your it like more or less he's talking to you still, but she can't see your ghostly body. She can just see your body slumped on the ground. And I'll get to her in a second, but right now I gotta take care of what's going on with you.
Wait. Can you call the dogs, please.
No!
Please.
You don't have my money!
Please.
You get to pay the consequence of not.
I'm gonna be annoyed.
No.
Please.
And he snaps his fingers once more, and now you have a plate that's going over your mouth. You think you can annoy me? Hey, Ami's like looking out of the office. Like, what is going on?
I'm surprised she hasn't run in here yet.
She looks like she's getting ready to. Now you're just trying to get her to come out there. Acorn, throughout all of this, you have no clue that Rabbit is now just standing there as a ghost. You just see her body and some dogs like attacking what effectively equates to the air nearby. And you've heard what the jester is saying.
Okay. Well, do I know that, like, she just kind of... Jester, is there anything I could give you?
My money? Wait, why are you even here? She's the one who owes me. You're collateral. Get out of here. Snaps his fingers, and you're back at the bathhouse.
Oh, crap!
Well, that's the thing. I'm in danger.
Okay, I guess we're getting nothing else from Acorn.
Well, I don't know what else to
You're
do. The party's been
struggling
split.
with a plate over your soul mouth, I guess you would call it. And you are being slowly but surely torn apart by hellhounds.
I'm a
Hellhound-esque dogs.
I'm start just kicking. My arms are free still, right?
Yeah, your arms are technically still free.
Okay.
You're just being pulled apart like a wishbone, but yeah, your arms are free.
Well, I can't really touch anything considering I'm a soul.
I don't know where that idea is coming from.
Well, I'm an incorporeal body, so everything I would touch would just like phase right through. Correct? That's
Have
where
you
my
tried?
head can. I mean, that's where my head.
I don't care what your
tried.
head cannon is. I care what you do.
I'm gonna start just kicking, trying to kick my legs, trying to kick the dogs off.
Okay. Give me a strength check, a dex check, and an acrobatics check. So I need just 3 d20s again.
Okay. $20, 11, 14.
Yeah, you managed to somehow, by against all odds, get your mouth, get their mouths off of your legs from pulling you apart. No, no, no. That's not how this works. And he snaps his fingers once more, and now you are hooked back into your body once more, but now you are hooked to a stretching rack.
So now my arms and
Where's yeah, your whole body is back to normal, but now you're hooked to a rack. It's a contraption that slowly, as it gets turned, stretches out your joints in your body until effectively can go this far, but doesn't always. Until your body effectively gets ripped apart limb from limb. Neck, it's in some cases, but in most cases, it's just both your legs on one side and your arms on the other side, and it starts pulling you from both sides. Most people's bodies usually get disjointed, and you can basically be vivisected by it.
neat.
Or bisected, not vivisected. Bisected.
Bisected, yeah. Wait. Wait, is my mouth still covered?
No, your mouth is uncovered
Okay.
again.
So I
But
just want to make sure before I
your
continue.
soul's mouth is still covered. Your physical mouth is not.
Okay, so can I still talk? Can I not?
Nope. You cannot actually speak. You can mouth, but you can't actually speak.
Okay, well I'm mouthing these words. Wait, is there something else that you may want instead of money?
Your soul.
My soul. What would you do with my soul? Like what would I have to do?
Eat it?
You would eat it. You would eat my soul.
Of course. What do you think that I do with souls?
I
What,
don't
employ you?
possibly.
You. No.
I don't know your life. Like you've never told me, so I'm just I don't know what you do. I'm not gonna assume, obviously.
But I thought we were friends.
You said,
Wouldn't a friend know that?
you said we weren't friends.
Hmm.
Because when I said we
But
were friends, you
you
strung me up like a
claimed
friggin'
we
stuck
weren't.
hog.
I want my money.
Is there something else you want more besides my soul?
Yes.
Well, can you let me out of this thing before it kills me, before you can tell me, so I can possibly get the thing?
No.
Well,
I will not.
Tell me what you want then.
Your soul.
I said
Or
aside from my soul.
my money.
I said aside from my soul and money. I said that.
How did you spend all of my money already.
I mean, I haven't spent any of it.
So you can pay me back.
Yeah, I'll just give you the money that you just gave me. I haven't spent any of it. Plus, there's more included. I have 30 extra gold. So the money on top of that, just take it out of my bag. It's over there.
I think I'll still take your soul.
Ah, no. We had a deal. Your money or my soul. You don't get both. You don't get both.
That's the joke.
You don't get both.
That's the joke. It's a killing one.
You don't get both. I thought you were an honorable man, Jester.
What kind of joke is that? That's not even close.
It's the best kind of joke. Where it's the truth. And the truth hurts. Don't it?
And he flicks his fingers once more and starts killing you repeatedly in a rotation. I'll be back after 1,000 days.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Jester, please. Stop.
1 gold for every day. And he disappears in a flash, showing up before Acorn in the bathhouse once more. Hiya, hiya, hiya! 1 lovely mud-soaked bath for my little, what are you? And he starts taking his fingers and rubbing it through the gnarled roots and vines that make up your general appearance.
Well, Jester, I don't know what to do.
Okay. I guess we'll find out what Acorn may or may not do in the next episode. We're growing. We're getting things going and getting things taken care of. Who knows how this is going to turn out? I guess we'll find out in the next episode.
Will I continue
Question
to
mark?
die over and over again? I don't know.
Will Acorn finally figure out what to do? Will Rabbit stop dying repeatedly after 1,000 years? Will that demon show up once more, dressed as a thundercloud, with like he's in his first 5th grade play or something? Who knows? Find out next time in the Bubble of Belthora. No. I was trying to do like a whole DBZ thing.
DBZ, yeah. Next time on CRPG.
Who knows? Hopefully, Acorn will figure out life. I don't know. We'll find out. Thanks for joining us on Roll to Play, and we shall see you in the next one. It's not goodbye. It's see you soon.
See you soon.